Hello everybody, my name is Kara, and today I'm here to do my BookTube friends choose my TBR. So I know a lot of people have been doing these recently, and I recently saw Jocelyn from Yogi with a Book do one. She actually asked me to pick a book for her. I will link that video down below. And I thought this looked like so much fun, and I also thought it'd be a great opportunity to finally get me to read some of the books that I have owned on my TBR for a really long time, and I keep meaning to get to them, and somehow I never do. So I asked several of my BookTube friends if they would like to pick a book for me from a specific list, and any reasoning was fair game. It could be their favorite book, their least favorite book, they could have never heard of it before, whatever they wanted to do. They just had to pick a book for me to read. And by the way, if this kind of challenge I set for myself is successful, I'm definitely going to be doing more of these. So if we're friends and you haven't been contacted by me about this, then don't worry, there's going to be more to come. So starting off with Jocelyn from Yogi with a Book, she picked Cartwheeling in Thunderstorms by Catherine Rundell. She said that she just kept coming back to this one because it had the best title and it didn't really sound like something she'd heard a lot about before. And she also saw some people quote passages in their review of this book, and she said the prose sounded really lovely. I've read two of Catherine Rundell's books before. One of them I liked and one of them I absolutely loved, so I don't know why I haven't picked this up yet, but now I will. And of course all of the people I mentioned will be linked down below. Next, Katie from A Sea of Tomes chose The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye. This is the first in a duology in a fantasy Russia setting, and Katie said that she chose this because it sounds kind of different in some ways and that she really trusts my opinion and wants to know what I think of it. So thank you, Katie, and I hope I enjoy this. I actually had several people pick this one or like recommend this one to me, so I think I'm gonna like it. My friend Trisha from Tell Her a Story chose I Am Malala by Malala Yousafzai with Christina Lamb. She chose this one because she loved it and she knows that I will love it, and she also mentioned that the audiobook is really good, so that's an option as well. My friend Yvette from Book Cave chose When the Moon Was Ours by Anna Marie McLemore, and she said it's because it's Latinx and queer and wonderful, and it was one of her favorite reads of the year, so that has me extremely excited. And she also said that one of the biggest things about this author's works is her writing style, and since she said I had already read and loved Wild Beauty by this author, then I probably would enjoy the other books from her as well. Also, this is really funny, but Priscilla from Bookie Charm, who is her sister, actually tried to choose this book for me as well, and I had to tell her that her sister got there before her. Mia from Select Pages chose Girls Made of Snow and Glass by Melissa Bashirdost, and this is a Snow White retelling that focuses a lot more on humanizing the evil stepmother and really showing her bond with her adopted daughter or her stepdaughter, which is one of the things that drew me to this book in the first place. I've had it on several TBRs. I've kind of started it before and I just never get around to it. So I'm really glad Mia chose this one, and she actually chose it because it has been on her TBR for a while too, and we might be doing a buddy read with this. Next one, I'm just going to show you the book and you guys can probably tell who chose this, and that is A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro. Yeah, it's Rocky from Blonde with a Book. And the only reason I have from her that she gave me, that was not even really a reason. She just said, OMG, A Study in Charlotte. So I think that's all the explanation you need. Pretty sure that if you have watched any of Rocky's videos, you have heard of this series and how much she loves it. It's a modern kind of retelling or reimagining of the Sherlock Holmes story, but it follows the descendants of Holmes and Watson. Charlotte Holmes is the great something granddaughter of Sherlock Holmes, and then Jamie Watson is the great something grandson of James Watson, and they end up solving a murder at a boarding school, and I have been meaning to start this series forever, and now I finally will. Ashley from Ashley Stormo chose Always and Forever Lara Jean by Jenny Han. This is the third book in the Lara Jean trilogy, which I just didn't finish that series, and it doesn't really make sense why, because I really enjoyed the first two books. And when I asked her why she chose this one, she said it was a combination of her love for the film and the need for supporting diversity in our main characters. And this might, depending on when we get around to it, this one might be a buddy read with Ashley. Not really sure yet, because I have no idea when I'm going to be reading these, but we'll see what happens. Aoife from Fred Weasley Died Laughing chose The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. She said she just really loved that one, and that's why she picked it for me, and I'm really excited. I have owned this book for so long, and I've heard so many amazing things about it. I think it's a science fiction that I'm going to really enjoy because it's really kind of slow and quiet, and it's more character focused, which I think I tend to enjoy those overall. My friend Ali from Ali M Books chose The Ring and the Crown by Melissa de la Cruz, and this is actually the extended edition, which I think comes with the bonus material that was supposed to be a published sequel that never happened. And she said she chose it because it's one of her favorites, but it's not really one that people talk about on BookTube, so she'd like to hear my opinion on it. So I really hope I enjoy this one. I know that there's a lot of political intrigue, and I think there's some arranged marriages that go wrong or something. I don't know. I've been meaning to pick this up again for a while. That's why all of these were on this list, so I'm excited to finally read this one. My friend Amy from London Bookish chose The Girl of Fire and Thorns by Ray Carson. This is the first book in a trilogy, and I own the whole thing, and I had not started it, so this is the perfect opportunity to finally get on it. And I know this is inspired by, I think, Spain, and I don't know if it's inspired by any Latin American countries in addition to Spain. And the reason Amy chose this one for me is because she didn't really like it, but the series gets better and she wants to know what I think about it. So that has me really interested, and I hope I enjoy this one. I know this is a very a series that gets a lot of mixed reviews, so I'm curious to see where I fall. My friend Huck from Badger Reads chose Binti by Nidhi Okorafor. This is the first book in a novella trilogy, and this is science fiction about a girl who, I think she gets accepted into a university, but nobody from her culture or her planet? No, I think her culture has ever been there before, and then there's a disaster on the way and she has to kind of take charge, maybe? I think that's what this is about. Huck chose this one because she said it's one of her favorites from the last year and she really loved the exploration of identity in it and she's hoping I enjoy it. Then Priscilla from Bookie Charm chose Incantation by Alice Hoffman. This was after I told her that Yvette beat her to When the Moon Was Ours. And she chose this one because Practical Magic was a favorite movie of hers growing up and she's heard really great things about Hoffman's books. So she wants to know what I think of this one, and I'm so glad somebody picked this one because Alice Hoffman has been an author who I've been meaning to try for a very long time. I've heard such good things about her novels, so I'm really glad that I will be getting to this one soon, and this one is quite short as well. My friend Hannah from Lynn Hermione chose The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. This is the first book in the Mistborn trilogy. I can't believe I haven't read Mistborn yet, but I've heard some mixed things about the female main character, which I think is the main thing putting me off. And I was so afraid that this would turn out to be overhyped. I have enjoyed other works from Brandon Sanderson before, but I was really nervous about this one. And Hannah chose this because it's been on her TBR for ages too, so she's hoping that this will inspire her to pick it up if I actually read it and hopefully enjoy it. And finally, my friend Lori from Lori and Thomas chose Frostfire by Amanda Hocking. This is the first book in a trilogy and it's a really like wintry type fantasy, and I don't actually know too much about it, and Lori just said that it sounded super interesting to her, and yeah, I'm curious. I acquired this quite a while ago. I own the sequel as well, and I just haven't picked it up yet, so maybe I should read this one sooner rather than later so that I can read it while we're still in like the wintry kind of mood or season. Okay everybody, so those are a big stack of books chosen by my BookTube friends, specifically from some books that have been on my physical TBR for far too long. And by the way, I'm not setting a time period for myself for these. Like I'm not even saying like, oh, I want to do these by the end of 2019, because I really don't want to like try to pressure myself to read these. Like maybe I'll finish these in like a few months because I'll be super inspired by them, or maybe it'll take me like a year and a half, whatever. As long as it takes, these are some books that I'm really excited to finally get off my TBR. And quite a few of them are ones that I am hoping or expecting to enjoy, so hopefully I'll find a few favorites from here. Let me know in the comments down below one book that you guys have had on your TBR for way too long that you're actually hoping to get to sometime soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon with another video, and I hope you love the next book you read. Bye!